Today we have the privilege to have Matt, who went through this transformation life of the software houses, as we were saying before going live. And Matt today will explain us how to do this transformation. And he will explain us how they did it also with Woodpecker. So the story of this whole transformation. But before we get started, I just want to wait a bit till everybody is getting ready, so we can wait for everyone. Meanwhile, we have few questions because we want to understand a bit who you guys are. So we want to understand simply if you are from a software house or from a SaaS. And in the crowdcast tool, you can see here polls. If you will just answer those questions just with simple voting, that will really help us customize the presentation, and also Matt can customize it later on. So that would be really great. Meanwhile, while we are doing the presentation, the idea is to have a bunch of questions from you guys. And here also you have the button ask a question, so we can just cast those questions there. Other people who are live can also vote on these questions. And what is also important is that all the people who will watch it in recording can jump directly to those questions and can vote those questions. So this is something that I urge you to do, so we can really get into actual value and actual answering the questions that you guys are needing. I see that people are starting to come in. So Matt, tell us a bit about you. Tell us a bit about Woodpecker before we jump into the presentation. What's the story?
Yeah, sure. And now I am CEO and co-founder at Woodpecker. We are a sales automation tool, and I will tell a few more words during the presentation how we work. We are like 4 or 5 years on the market now, and we are growing quite fast. And before Woodpecker, I was like 5-6 years a co-founder of a software house, and the same was my co-founder Maciek here. So we decided to build something together. We have clients from our work now, and it's a good adventure to build this.
So this software house is still on, or it's not on anymore?
Like both of them, because I was a co-founder of one. Maciek was working in some other here in Warsaw, Poland, and I sold the one I was involved in, and I started Woodpecker. So even before Woodpecker, I will tell during the presentation, we had one project that wasn't the success, but we've learned a lot. And at that time, we were still involved in the software houses. So it was a process.
I think we can just jump in. I can see here some of the results. So everyone who voted that they are a software house. So for your information, that none of the participants that we see live or didn't vote that they are a SaaS. So the floor is yours, Matt. You can just jump into the presentation, and we will have questions later on.
Okay. Let me share it.
Cool.
Okay. So today I'm going to tell you some part of the story of how Woodpecker began, and how the transformation from being a guy running a software house to who is running a SaaS business looked like, and what we've learned, some of our mistakes, and also approaches and methods that worked really great for us, and I hope it will be helpful for you. And as I said before, at Woodpecker, we are a sales automation tool. We help small and medium companies to automate sales processes. And now we have over 3,000 paying clients from 70 countries, and we are growing quite fast. We also have more than 50 people inside the team. And before Woodpecker, I used to run a software house for 5-6 years, and it was a real adventure, but also I felt that I would really like to build a software product and build my own brand. And the same was with my co-founder Maciek, who was a senior programmer in a software house, and we decided that we want to build something together. And we started with a project that was a CRM for personal trainers, like a fitness industry instead. And I think that we have quite a good idea, and that we managed to build something that they needed. But the project wasn't a success. We've managed to build the product and even to get like 20-30 clients. But after 1.5 years, we realized that it will be almost impossible to scale the business and to build like a normal company around it. And it was the first lesson, like the first idea I would like to share with you, that if you think about building a SaaS product, think about building something that you will use yourself. Because we spent a lot of time on the customer development. We talked to many of our clients, beta testers. We did a lot of research around these personal trainers in States. But I was not a personal trainer, and my co-founder Maciek wasn't also a personal trainer in States. So it took us a lot of time to understand this industry and to understand how it works. And in my opinion, it is possible to build something that you're not going to use or you don't understand, but it's like 1,000 times more difficult. And I strongly encourage you to start with something that you're able to use yourself and the problem you understand. And the second approach, I think, is really good and worked for us, is that we decided to build something that already exists with Woodpecker, and something that solves our own problem. Because during this previous project, we had to contact a lot of these personal trainers, like a few thousand of them. And we started to do this manually, sending cold emails and follow-ups and tracking in Excel and spending a lot of time around it. And my co-founder Maciek said, listen, I think I can write a piece of software that will automate the sending process and sending the follow-ups and detect if someone replied or not. And he did it, and we started to use it. And after some time, when we realized that our first project will not be a success, we saw that there is a new category of SaaS products around sales automation growing. And that not only we had this kind of problem, and we decided to pivot. It was a very tough decision after 1.5 years building something like to change everything. But we felt that this will be a good direction, and we decided to rewrite everything so that we will be able to sell it to people who has a similar problem as we had, and spend a lot of time doing the following up process manually. And this is how Woodpecker, begin. And preparing this presentation, I wondered how I would, start looking for idea for a new SaaS project today. And what I think I would do is to spend like 2, 3, maybe 4 days on sites like Capterra, G2Crowd, GetUp, and browse through software categories and try to look for something interesting from my point of view in many different areas, because we all have different backgrounds. But I would definitely would like to find existing niche, like the place where people who spend money to solve the problem I'm going to solve. Maybe the solution will be a bit different, but life is too short to build a product that people just only need but don't want to spend money to buy it. So from my point of view, it's maybe not very sexy approach, but very good if we would like to have a success with our SaaS. And after finding the niche, finding the category, I think that a really good idea is to dig deeper and read at least 100 reviews of this product, because we as product people or entrepreneurs, when we have this kind of data, we will process it, and after, let's say, a week, we can do another round. And I'm pretty sure that we're able to find really nice idea for the product that will solve real existing problem in a new way, in a new approach, let's say. And I took just one example, for example, email signature software. There are a lot of softwares like this on Capterra, G2Crowd, or GetUp, and we can take a look at the best softwares there, look at the reviews, and in my opinion, it's like a real gold, because we can see why people decided to buy the product and what they like inside. But even in the good reviews, there are also some information about what they don't like, what's missing, what can be better. And many companies who decided to build something, like this is just an example, but there's the same pattern. Many companies are on the market for sometimes for many years, and they're not that flexible. They have some old approach, and we can build something with a new idea around existing problem. And reading this real reviews from many people, it's a data that helps us to figure out what we can create. And this is the first step I would take, finding the idea, looking what's inside the market, looking at the companies that already exist, looking at the problem that we know that people are spending money to solve, and then figuring out what we'd like to build around it. And the next step is, in my opinion, not writing software, but finding beta testers, prospects for first clients, and do a lot of customer development stuff. And there is very simple formula. It works like a charm if you use it to understand the market and understand for who you're building the product and how the problem really looks like. And for, in this example, I showed you an email signature management software. There are a lot of websites with the SaaS websites on Capterra, G2Crowd, and GetUp. You can go to the future competitor website, take a look at the testimonials, where you can find people who already spend money to solve this problem. And you can drop them an email or invite them on LinkedIn and ask them to talk to you 20 minutes about the problem, about the solution they use, what they like in the software they already are using. And the main reason is not to find the first clients. The main reason is doing the customer research, understanding the market, understanding who they are understanding what kind of problem they want to solve and what are the business struggles and things important to them. And I even made an example. One of the softwares there was the New Old Stamp, the software to manage email signatures. And as you can see, even on the homepage, there's one testimonial from Eugen Lata, and I found him on LinkedIn. And the next step is to drop him an email like, "Hi, I'm Matt. I'm going to build the software that will help you with managing email signatures. I saw that you're a client there, and I will really appreciate 20 minutes with me on Skype and talk more about problem. And I see that when founder is writing to another founder or a person who remember how it is to start a company and start a new product, many people, like maybe 2 on 10 people, will spend some time with you. We'll get on Skype and tell you, maybe if you're not going to sell them, because it's the main reason, they will share the knowledge, they will share how it looks like from their point of view. And this is the first website we have at Woodpecker. I created it personally. It's on WordPress and a simple plugin. It's as you can see, it even didn't have a logo. It's only about what we were going to do, and this is all we had when we started to talk to our competitors, users, and to people similar to them. So we don't have a lot. We don't need a lot to start this process. And in my opinion, it's crucial to find at least 100 people who are willing to solve the problem we are going to solve with our software, and ask them to invite them to the private beta, even if it's not ready. Because during this process, we will learn a lot about the product, the industry, the problem, the software category, but also we will find the first maybe 5, maybe 7, maybe 10 people who will work closely with us when we will develop the software. And it was exactly what we did at Woodpecker, because we invited like few hundred people. 10, 20 of them were working quite close with us. We were releasing new features inside the private beta. It was, totally early stage software, and I was looking at stats, because we allowed our private beta users to use it for free, and I wondered if they, will use it. When I saw that people are creating campaigns and having results, and I thought, okay, so there is a chance they will pay us for it, because if nobody will use it even for free, doing a pricing page, it's pointless. But after we created the pricing page, we created the we connected to Braintree to be able to charge them. During the first 2 months, going from private beta to beta and charging for the access, we managed to get first 38 clients. I remember this because it was the end of the year, and we had this 38 clients during the first year, and these were people who were with us during this many months. We were creating and developing Woodpecker, and they had some relation with us, and they trusted us at the beginning. In my opinion, the software was in totally early stage, so we were really thankful for them that they helped us to create it, and also that they decided to be our clients. And with this formula, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to talk to people and to find them, and it's not very scalable. But this is the formula how you can find your first 1 to 10 paying customers. If you do this right, and all other stuff is created as it should be, this is the best way to find the first paying customers. And this is the most difficult part, finding the first customers for your SaaS. I think that software as a service business model is for dreamers. It's for people who really would like to give a value to their customers, because when we have a SaaS product, our clients every month or every year, if you charge them annually, then we have to make a decision: do I stay or do I go? If they don't have a success, if they don't have results with your software, they will leave. So you will have churn, and you will not be able to grow. So it's in this business model, you have to give value and give success to your client, because he will churn, he will leave. You cannot just create something, sell, and forget. You have to work with the clients really close all the time, even after they decided to buy product. And I think that the most after they decide to buy the product. And there is one really great framework. We also used it at Woodpecker. It's called Ideal Customer Profile Framework. You can Google it easily. It's created by Lincoln Murphy on his 16ventures.com blog. And if someone tells me that it's going to start a first SaaS company, I always encourage this person to spend like 2-3 weeks reading all the articles there. It's like a gold, full of priceless advices, and people like we are. After this, you're able to understand the business model, what's the good approach to SaaS nowadays. So
can you share the link of the blog, or maybe you can tell me and I can put it in?
Sure, I can share it later.
Okay, cool.
It's in the first results when you Google it, but sure, after it I will share it. And it's very crucial to understand how it works, because we have to deliver real customer success to our users to keep them with our software. It's the only way we can grow in SaaS. Sorry. And what really customer success is on the one hand, it's to deliver to the customer desired outcome. The desired outcome is the business result. For example, at Woodpecker, our users want to have interested clients, interested prospects, answers from them on their inboxes. This is the reason why they decide to use Woodpecker. But this is only the business result. There is also an experience, how to create a campaign, how it was the experience with the software, was the experience with the support, with the whole company. And when we combine this together, like give them the results they want to achieve, and also in a way they expect, we have the real customer success, something that they're, they stick with us. They want to, be with us for another month. And this is crucial to build a successful software as a service company. And at these first steps, I told you how to do this, how we did it, and I think many successful companies did it. And after this, a few first steps, like for example, when we had this 30, 50, 100 clients, we realized that we have to create some kind of feedback loop. It's very important. Like this is the example where you can see that company has 1,000 trial users per month. 300 of them are becoming a new clients, like a first month clients. And every month there is a churn. So after some time, you can see the pattern. There are some power users, like this ICP, Ideal Customer Profile clients, who spend the most money, has the biggest success with your company. They expand, buying more accounts, and spreading the word that you're an awesome company. And what's really important is to identify them, talk to them, understand them, and give the information back to the product team, like what kind of features to build, because you have many users. You should, I think, in my opinion, we should focus on the best customers and deliver features for them. So the marketing team, who to target, like who to create content for where to buy, ads and so on, to the customer success team and so on. So the whole company should know for who do you create the software. And when you don't have this kind of feedback loop, you can create features for people who just requested for them, but they can be a bad fit clients. Like many of them can ask you, but most of them churn after the first month. So it's very crucial to create this kind of feedback loop and understand who is the power user, who is the best client. And in SaaS industry, churn starts at the beginning, at the sales, the first month, the trial. Who do you target is extremely important. And on the slide you can see, it's on the right hand, the company has a lot of trials, but only a few of them are similar. These are people similar to the ones who has real success with your software, like this ideal clients. On the left side, it's like half of the trials, but a lot of them are very similar to people who has a real success using our product. And trust me, you really would like to be rather on the left side than on the right. And when I wondered what to tell you, like what was the most important part of what we were doing during all the process, even starting from beta, even now developing the product, it's many one-on-one conversations with our clients. Most of them on Skype because they're from many countries and most of them from states. But if we only had opportunity in person, and during the last few years there were hundreds of them, like not few, just hundreds of them. And at the beginning, I was involved in many of them, and I think that founders, co-founders should be involved in them at the early stage. And now many people from our company, from product team, from customer success team, from many teams are talking to our clients. And this is the way how we try to be close to these people, close to this market, build something that we know that they want, and understanding them well. And I think that very often when we, for example, I used to work in a software house, it wasn't that important. Someone brought us a brief, a project, we just created it, and that's it. When you create your own product, it's, in my opinion, very bad approach to, close in the office and build something and think that it is useful. It's much better to talk to people and show them mock-ups, understand what they think, what the real problem is. And at the end, I'd like to share with you two approaches to frameworks that worked really great for us. The first one is Jobs to be Done framework. I'm pretty sure many of you heard about it, but if not, even if, I think it's really good to refresh this knowledge and Google it. For example, there's a really good TED talk about it or some other materials. The key idea is that we hire products for some kind of jobs, and very often it's not that obvious as we think. And it helps us a lot here at Woodpecker. And also based on Basecamp approach, it was inspiration for us, this less is more approach plus branding. As you can see, here's a MarTech landscape from 2011 to 2018. And a few years ago, there were like hundreds of companies in this industry. Now we have thousands of them and new thousands every year. So in my opinion, it's very important to be really good in your niche and build a strong brand around it. For example, at Woodpecker, we decided to focus on this following up process. We're not going to be a CRM or prospecting tool, not all in one. And I think it helped us a lot during these years. And this is something I also encourage you to think this way. And I also wanted to tell you at the end that building SaaS is a really great adventure, and I'm really happy that I decided to switch from delivering on the service in a software house to building own product, own brand, and I encourage you to start this journey. If you think about this, you will not regret. Thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot for the presentation. I think you can stop the share screening now. I think that was really valuable, like the framework and the whole transformation. And you were mentioning, because it's stuck in my mind, that you wanted to create the whole SaaS because you wanted to create a brand. So you think that with software house you cannot create this brand, or how is it more valuable in terms of branding to have a SaaS?
I think that building a service company, you're also able to create a great brand. But when you create SaaS, you can scale like much easier. In software house, we always had problem like having too many projects, or not enough people, or too many people, and it wasn't that easy. Of course, there are really great companies that are software houses, and I think that if someone likes this, sure, why not? It's also really good business to do. But in SaaS, what was really interesting from my point of view is that when you create the product, the service is done like by the software. So it's when I think about this, it's like when you run a software house, it's like running all the time. When you build SaaS, you can just like sit and think and build something, and people are using it, and we have 3,000 clients and 4 or 5 people on support. So it's much easier to build a scale, and when you build a scale, more people know about you, more people use you, and it's much easier to build brand around the world than in services.
And how much time did it take you to surpass the revenue that you were having in software house versus the revenue in the SaaS? I mean, because I suppose at the beginning the software house was supporting financially and also with human resources to do the SaaS, right? Because they were internal people. But at one point you jumped over, I suppose, in terms of revenue.
When we started with Maciek, we had our own money, and we decided to work ourselves, let's say, as a second job, and hire 2 people, marketing and design, to help us with the first project I told you, the CRM for personal trainers. And after 1.5 years, we spent some money on it and time. And we were working in the software houses we were involved in. So it was a bit crazy. But I also learned that it's quite difficult to build SaaS this way. That when you're not focused on it like all the time, what's very difficult when you have clients for your services, it's much more difficult. It's doable, but it's much more difficult. And we found an investor, and at this totally early stage, we received like $250,000 US starting investment, and it helped us here in Poland. It was enough to create the team and to get to break even and to grow.
Cool, thanks. There are some questions here from Roman from Poznań. Roman, do you want to get on screen? I mean, I can put you on screen because I see you have a bunch of questions. Just tell me in the chat. Meanwhile, okay, he doesn't want to come on the chat, but he's asking more about the sales cycle. So sure. There are a few questions. One is about the trial. Do you think that it's bad or good in terms of SaaS to give the trial, and how does this worked in Woodpecker?
I think that the only answer, good answer, is it depends. Because I can tell you from our point of view, I wanted Woodpecker to be quite cheap. Like, we don't have like the pricing starting from, I don't know, 1K US dollars. It's like $40-50, because I wanted to be as much self-served as possible, because I knew it's much easier to sell something this way. That's why we decided to open software. It's quite easy to start a trial at Woodpecker and see what's inside. Many of our competitors has a bit different approach. They target, for example, enterprise accounts, like bigger accounts, and they want to have a demo. So it's also working for them. It depends, like, who do you target and what kind of product you have.
You mean like Outreach.io, for example?
Yes, exactly.
That's what they do.
Or Salesloft. And I totally understand it. I think in our case, it will be a better approach. And I think that, in my opinion, having a software opened, like being able to create a trial, it's good. Like, I don't understand why should we close it, because if we are afraid of competitors, they will see what we do. Like, it's impossible to hide it, even if we need demo or something like this. So when we have, like, maybe not real product from, I don't know, $10 to $200 per seat, I think that it's good approach to have a free trial without credit card. But still, there are some companies and business models and flows where this upfront credit card is also good idea, and I think it's good to test what's the best for the company.
And that takes me to the second question, because if you have trial, I suppose your sales team is smaller, because you could automatically try to nurture those leads and convert them down the funnel. So if they go in a sales process, what's the duration of a cycle from the, for trial is obvious, it's 30 days, but if we're talking about enterprise.
14 days. We have 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing is, I think the trial should be as short as possible, but allow customer to get the first results, like to see how the software works. And at Woodpecker, these are 2 weeks, because you're able to create the campaign when you have a limit of 150 emails. So you're able to create campaign for, let's say, 30 prospects and few follow-ups, and see, the first replies. This is what's enough to create a campaign. And we see that there are a lot of clients who, decide to create a trial and then buy a software after, I don't know, 9 days. So the sales cycle seems to be, it looks like being quite fast, because it's cheaper product. But I think that it's much more complicated. That at the beginning, it can take many months, because from the first contact with Woodpecker to being a client, and someone who is already creating a trial and testing application and buying might be, the same person who 6 months before were on our blog and was in a different, stage in the company. So we try to look at this more globally, and I don't believe that people decide to buy and implement software in 2 weeks. I think the process inside company is much longer, and we should always think about this. So these 2 weeks are for people who are on the stage of testing software, like looking what kind of solutions should we choose.
And Przemek was also asking, having 3,000 clients, how do you manage effectively account management with 5 people?
Oh, we have really great people on support. This is one thing, and the other thing is that our software is getting better and better all the time, every month, every year. We try to build a really, stable software We don't have the a lot of features, but we tried when we release feature, we want it to be stable and work. And during the years, we prepared a lot of help materials like articles. Now we'd like to create help videos. So I think I see that many companies having 20,000 clients and they have 20 people on the support. So it probably depends, but it's not easy because we have clients from all around the world. But still we can handle it now with.
And I want to go back to a little bit to the software houses, because I saw in some software houses that they are doing these squad teams. So they are working on their project, but if they have some kind of ideas of a product, they create a squad team from UX designers, programmers, salespeople, marketers, whatever. And then they jump in and they try to build this product. And I saw that they're not creating one product, but there are different ideas, so they're building different projects. So what do you think? Should one, if software house, if they want to switch to do this transformation, focus on one North Star, on one product, or they should have various and let it fail and then see how they can transform from there?
I'm not a programmer. I'm a marketing business guy. I have a really big respect to programmers, and I work with them for many years. But I think the biggest mistake they have in thinking about releasing product is that the main thing is to build the product. I think that the software house should not build write the first line of code before doing customer development job, like talking to clients, even creating a landing page with only information what kind of product it will be or what kind of solution it will solve, and talking to people who already spend money to solve this problem, understanding the market, and then creating the product. This is in my opinion, if there is a big company with a lot of resources, you can do many product like this. If not, you can just focus on one. But what I think is the biggest, in my opinion, mistake is to starting from what can we create and creating it and then trying to sell. In my opinion, it is not really good way to do this.
Cool, thanks a lot. Michał has here a question, so I will just read it. What do you think is good ratio of cost for marketing/sales versus product development on your stage of development of the company? Can you share what is yours at Woodpecker?
I don't know, what's the best one. What I wanted to create here at Woodpecker is to not forget about all the areas of the business. I wanted to have developers, but also marketing people and support guys and customer success, and think about branding, and people in administration that do a lot of crucial work, and sales and other areas. So we wanted with my co-founder Maciek to create company like the whole company with all departments and all elements inside, because I think it's like a body. You need all the elements to to move forward fast. And of course, I think that now we need, for example, now we're hiring. We want more developers. We see that we need more people inside product, not to only maintain, but to build new features. And we have a lot of ideas, a lot of things to do. So now I think that we need more people there. At the beginning, I wanted to have more people in marketing and sales, because I thought, okay, we will be able to build it. I am not sure if we are able to sell it and find people. So it depends on the stage and it depends where we are. So I don't know the exact formula. I think that all the areas should be covered somehow.
Cool. Thanks a lot. We have one more question regarding deals. So how can you increase the deal size when you have a SaaS in your case? Like,
okay, it depends if it's on beginning, like initial sale, or during the journey of the customer with the company. And I didn't want the deal size to be high at the beginning here at Woodpecker, because as I said, I wanted to be as much as self-served as possible after some time, because at the beginning we did a lot of unscalable, stuff like helping our clients and so on. And so I didn't want it to be that high, because I think when you have product above, let's say $500, you need the salespeople to tell about it, to make a demo, and every client needs a human touch to be on board to use the product. And so at the beginning, our intention was to have not a big threshold to become our customer. But then we see the clients that they decided to buy one seat and create campaigns, and they see the results, and they want the company is growing, so they are hiring more people inside their company and adding more seats, more users inside Woodpecker. So they're expanding, they're using our software more, and this is the process we're trying to help inside companies, like give knowledge, give some advices, build inside Woodpecker maybe some tips how to get more results with the software, so people will add more seats, grow with us. If customers grow with us, then they pay us more, and we have customers who pay us a few $1,000s per month. So it's not that all our users are paying us $30 or $50. And in my opinion, it's the best way, like helping the company to grow with Woodpecker, and they add more seats because they have more value and they want to grow faster.
Thanks a lot. I have another question, which is maybe a little bit more controversial, but why one should not do a B2B SaaS? Like, why one software house should not even consider doing a SaaS business, not necessarily B2B?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's very difficult business model, and I think that you need a lot of patience, and you need to learn a lot, and you can do everything right and it can fail. And that there's a lot of work to do, and where you don't know what the result will be, and this is for people who are able to run a marathon in the business. So it's not for everyone, I think. And and I, for example, really liked it at Software House that we had, such a good cash flow. Like we had, upfront payments from our clients, and it was, running like I saw results every month. And at Woodpecker, I see that we do something, and after a half year, we have a real results, or in a really long term. So it depends what kind of person you are, what's important for you, and if you're able to. Like, for example, if you're not running and would like to run, are you able to prepare to the marathon and complete it under 2 hours? Yeah, you have to be this kind of person to run a SaaS company.
And I have a last question, because you talked about people. Maybe some software houses don't have the right people to start the SaaS. So, but they are thinking to do that. So they are thinking of that transformation. Sure. So what do you think should be the, I don't know, two employees that they should hire before starting the SaaS? Like what kind of profile, who are these people, what they should do? yeah, that would be the question.
In my opinion, software houses are perfect places with tons of people who are able to create SaaS companies, because in software houses, from my experience, the company I used to run and many other I know, they usually are really smart people. Like, very difficult what they do. So they are able to learn, and they are smart, and they're perfect people to be in this kind of business model. I'm from Poland. We have few SaaS companies here, like some also big ones, but we don't have many people with experience. Me and all our team are people for who this is the first or maybe second SaaS. The first one, failed that we created. So we're also learning all the time, and I think that that people from software house maybe should not focus on hiring people. Rather, they should focus on spending time on reading materials like from this 16 Ventures in Converty and places like this, and learning how this business model works, how to do the customer development processes, and spend time around it. And this is the main obstacle I see, that we have a lot of clients, we have a pressure, we don't have, as I said, like 3 days of doing only this. Yes. So this is the main obstacle, not being, and if you cannot find a freelancer who will do it for you.
Of course.
In my opinion, finding the idea, creating, understanding this, it's something that founders have to do. So it's very difficult. I know that it's very difficult when you run a company. But for example, when you have a co-founder at the software house, you can agree that one of you will spend a week. It's not a holiday, but it's a week, where he learns or do a research or do stuff like this, and he's out of the office, let's say. And in the previous company, we were experimenting with this, and we had results. So I think it's quite a good approach to test.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Matt. That was really great and really helpful. Just wanted to mention, you mentioned about landing pages, that you were creating landing pages and so on. So that's why I invited for our next webinar the guys from Unbounce, who are doing a great SaaS. And they will talk more about how to make a minimal, reliable customer, actually. So how is that first customers, and how to retain the customers, how to get analytics out of the customers, because it's one thing that you transform. The second thing is to get the customers. So who are these initial customers, how we retain them, and how we how you do the whole lead nurturing. So the Steven from Berlin will join us from the Unbounce office there. It will be on 3rd of December. So I just put the small button down there, next webinar. So if you click on that, you will be redirected to the landing page when you can subscribe. And we will try to make also a blog post out of this, all this nice content that you gave us. We will put the recording up and running, so all of you will have access to it. And I'm sure also on your blog we can find a lot of good articles on how to do cold emails and email outreach. I suppose everybody in software houses do that, because it's the easiest way to just get in front of the customer. So if you have any other questions, we will try to answer them on the follow-up emails. Thanks a lot, Matt, for great presentation. It was really with a bunch of questions and short and sweet. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Friday, but it's quite close. So keep in touch. Thanks a lot, Matt, for everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye.